what we're doing is we're actually going deeper into the mind when we meditate. We're going beyond just circumstances, and we're moving down deeper. We're going beneath that, and also beneath the thought that occurs about the circumstances. Because again, when we were talking earlier about how oftentimes people will get into negative thinking and drama and on all the bad things that happen, what they're doing is they're dwelling on the surface. And the ego loves to keep you dwelling on the surface, because then it sort of captivates you. You're not going down deep and saying, who are you? Because if you ask yourself some questions, you would find out you are not the circumstances, and you're not even your reaction to the circumstances. You are something much, much deeper than that. And so the ego loves to distract you, to keep you from meditating, because then it has control. And so that's why we want to learn how to take control of the mind. It's your mind. You get to control it. You get to decide where you're going to be with it. If you choose to be in peace, if you choose to heal, if you choose to experience love, you can do that, because it's your mind. But this means that you switch it to that subject or that idea that you wanted to go to, like we were doing last week when we were moving from idea to idea. You were switching with me as I suggested it. So the mind, as we meditate, we are actually reconfiguring our brain, and we're actually reconfiguring our whole body, because as we develop a more meditative or a quieter mind, it affects the chemistry of our body, it affects the cellular structure of our body, everything changes. And if you've been around people that meditate on a regular basis, you've noticed that they're different. They just feel different. They're not as conflicted, they're not as chaotic, they're just not into the drama as much. So we are actually reorganizing ourselves. We become very different when we've meditated for a while. We start looking at life differently, and we do become the observer. I just don't want to get into it. Just not in my best interest to get into all that. So it's kind of like floating down in a stream, and we go deeper and deeper into the stream, and we begin to feel deeper energies. I think next Tuesday I start teaching an intuition class, and that's one of the things that we'll be talking about is the going deeper into your mind to connect with that intuitive side of you. There is nothing more helpful to doing that than meditation. It is the best way to develop your intuition. So there's a lot of different ways to do this, but what we want to do is get beyond the debris on the surface, which is the same thing as the people walking around while I'm trying to talk to you, or the thoughts that are floating through your mind. Okay, we want to get past the debris and just notice that there's debris there in the stream, and we're going to go down beneath it. We can observe it, but we don't have to get hooked by it. And that's the truth with everything in life. You can observe it and you don't have to get hooked by it. If somebody's calling you names, you can observe it. You don't have to get hooked by it, because this really has nothing to do with you. Okay. So anyway, meditation as a vehicle itself becomes the whole vehicle of learning how to let go and let God. We can, like as we were doing tonight, I asked you to hold a picture of your life perfect, however it would be in your mind as perfect, having plenty of everything and peaceful and so forth. Okay, we can hold that image, and when we let it go, it goes into the universe. It's kind of like sitting at a computer and going, I want all the files to start with B, and we click into that, and then some magic happens, and the computer produces all the files that start with B. And that's how the universe works. Somebody who invented the computer was connected to the universe and realized on some deep level, this is how it all works, and invented the computer as basically as a coordinate to that, So all that stuff on Star Wars that we've been seeing, that's probably all going to happen too. But anyway, what we're doing is moving deeper and into the practice. And whatever method you get there, it doesn't really matter, because whatever method gets you there is good.